Okay, I think I'm recording right now. So basically, what I want to talk about today is kind of like concluding like my XWELL like podcast that I'm doing. Because like before I was marking down the days or marking up the days of like being someone, having a platform and having a voice. So I don't want to count like my days of like when that's gonna actually happen. I'd rather just like let that happen naturally, and that is not something that I want to like, you know, put any like thought into because that's only gonna like add pressure and like that's gonna actually like uh have me like get in my head, and that's not what I want to do. So basically for my XWELL podcast, it's like my what I was doing was like a daily type of thing. Then I had to stop for a few days because I'm like, this is just becoming just way too much. And like no one's gonna really care for my content anyways, because like since I'm a small creator and what I'm trying to offer is something a little bit different and unique in my case. And I want to offer and like be a different type of content creator in that regard. Because I'm seeing like other content creators on like how they're creating content, and it's very like copy and paste from each other. I mean, of course, they have like their own unique like things that they add to their content, but with mine, I wanted it to be a little bit different. And in my first podcast, I was just introducing my Instagram journey of what I was doing in the first place. And then I had made another podcast just doing like an update, a video of like what I was doing like to day, kind of like updating everyone of what I was like going with like my mind. Um, you can watch that on my Instagram. So I think there was like 3 to 4 like podcast videos that I did, kind of updating like everyone like what was like my style, what I'm doing for the day, how I'm going to actually like become someone. And I don't want to like do that anymore because like I want to actually focus on like actually like my main objective and my target. And I'm going to keep that to myself because like I don't need to like kind of overshare and kind of like just like say what I want to do. I want to actually prove my worth and what I want to do and have my like voice, my appearance, how I look, my presence, my aura speak for itself in that regard. So this is going to be like the Expo Weekly recap podcast, kind of like uh conclusion to this, because like I'm not going to continuously do this because like it's just not going to like I'm moving on past this because like I'm seeing like a new perspective and a new horizon of where I'm trying to go. And in this video, it's going to be very short and like short and sweet, just to conclude everything. So because like I'm actually moving on to like better things that I'm actually going to strive for. So basically, for I think I'm going to start off with like day 12. So basically, it was more of like a relax and recovery day. So I think it was like my day off, and it was like recharging and like re-energizing myself and taking time to reflect on my journey in itself. Day 13 was like more observation in Seattle. So I think in Seattle, I was so I think I walked in the morning with like this shirt. I mean, I got this shirt from H&M, which I think is pretty sick. I think of the movie Lucy. That's why I got it in the first place. And like I had made another video explaining that, so I don't want to even talk about that right now. But I walked in Seattle with this to Pike's Place. Then I went to Nordstrom because I was going to get like a pair of socks. But like I was just like I don't know, and I was going to meet someone, which is very unfortunate because like I was actually going to meet this person to make content, and the person just flaked on me, which I'm really kind of like upset about because I'm like I'm actually trying to take time and consideration to like what I'm doing, and I'm very serious. And for that person to flake on me, I have questions. But regardless of that, like I was just going to Seattle, just walking around. I walked to the waterfront and everything like that. And I was on a mission. So I was just determined to get to point A to point B. So, and then I went back home. Then I changed outfits to go out to Seattle again, to the waterfront, to Pike's Place, to Nordstrom. Just so like I can actually see what Seattle's all about, because like I don't get the hype. I don't see what is like really the it factor in Seattle in the first place, especially visiting Pike's Place. It's not like a destination that I would rather see. It's just like in my case, even though I live here, I don't see like what the hype is about, and I'm like looking to move regardless. But so I guess like I was just taking observations of like how people are dressing. I mean, obviously people are not like dressing to like to the tens and nines. I mean, it's like people are just dressing like casually, but I take fashion very seriously. So like I was just trying to see what people are wearing in that regard, just seeing what observations, like seeing how like trends like come and go. So I'm basically auditing myself and actually checking observation on like what is like the style of right now is what I'm trying to get at. Um I yeah, and also in the day, like I was working on like my modeling portfolio, which I'm actually building, and I'm gonna actually make that public pretty soon. But like I'm actually serious about becoming a model and taking my appearance very seriously. That's why I have like the split dye hair. It's to make something like distinct looking. I could have done like blonde like my entire head, but I didn't want to do that. I want to actually make it more distinct look. So that way, if anyone were to see me, they would be like, "Oh, that's Crosswell." And even though the split dye is not like a new thing, it's a new thing to me, and it's like I'm treating it as that. Like I'm entering like a new era, and I wanted to exude that. Um, let's see what else yeah, so I'm also like embracing like slow progress. I'm looking for delayed gratification because like I don't always want to like wait for the moment for or no, I want to wait for the moment where like everything clicks, but I don't want it to all happen like overnight and be like a viral sensation like that. Like I want to actually like build myself from the ground up, working my way up to actually receiving what I've been striving to get the entire time. um so like I'm very strategic with my content creation, and sorry, I'm looking at my phone as well. So like I'm transitioning from season one to season two of myself. So that's why I'm concluding this in that regard. Um, so day 14 is like more of like an energized and transformative day. So I woke up and I was ready to run. And when I say run, I mean like I'm actually speed running. So basically it's like a metaphoric type of like saying that I'm saying to myself. Because like I feel like throughout my life up to this point, like I was walking, but like I'm actually running to actually get to where I want to be and strive to be like the most utmost person that I want to respect and actually see myself. And that's why I'm a lion for that regard, because like I see myself as something that's powerful, that's courageous, that's like actually like defying like norms. I want to be in a better state of mind, actually being in a creative mindset and actually trying to like be different than the status quo. Because like I don't want to be I don't want to like blend in. I want to stand out, not for the sake of it, but for the fact that like I come from a creative background anyways, and I want to show my creative expression in that regard. So that's why like I'm like that's why like I had bleached and toned like the other side of my head, which also reflects like personal growth and like transformation, because like with the lion in itself. So like as they mature, I mean their hair starts to like uh go to like a brownish black color anyway. So like I'm like maturing in that instance. So it's like a metaphoric kind of like situation that I'm kind of painting a picture so you guys can understand where I'm going with. So like let's see what else. And then I was like updating like my model portfolio, and like and I'm going to apply to casting studios and also like modeling agencies. Um, then I also recorded my Enviro universe, like to connect my, like my thoughts and like creative ideas into like a platform, a video on this platform, so like you guys can understand like the lore and like the universe that I'm building. So if you haven't watched that video, it's called Access Granted Enviro. So if you're very curious to what I'm doing and what I'm even saying, watch that video, because like it talks about like my Instagram. So I go from like the post one all the way up to like my current post, and there's a reason to why I'm posting the things that I'm doing, because I'm actually serious about what I'm doing. And I want to actually communicate my message in a way that makes sense to you guys. And I have to speak in your language and your lingo, so like you guys can understand what I'm saying. And I'm not just yapping for the sake of it. Like I'm actually trying to like actually like bring a youthful and like a different type of like mindset, despite me having like a mental condition that with is schizophrenia. But I'm not letting that just be like a hindrance. Like I want that to be like a unique like instance that I'm able to like do the things that I'm able to do, regardless of the fact that I have a mental condition. And I don't want that to be like a crutch. Like I'm not using that as a crutch. I'm using that as like a mental ability. And I said this in another video, that it's not a mental disability. It's my mental ability that I'm actually able to tap into to bring a different perspective into my content, is what I'm trying to get at. That's why I want to be a different content creator in that regard, because I want to offer something different than something else that's been like already done on the platform in itself. So, I mean, that's where I'm kind of getting at. And then for the last day for this day, so this is day 15, so which is the last day that I'm going to conclude this, because like I have a watch that I wrote my hamster's name on, because she passed into a different dimension, so she passed away. So I wrote that as like a reminder, and like it's the day that it's the number on the very bottom of like the watch itself. So I don't care about that. The watch is more of like a just like a it's a prop in that instance. So I'm only looking at that number because it's day 15. So basically, So since it's like the last day of that I'm doing this, I wrote her name as a reminder because like my hamster actually meant a lot to me, and I named her Xena because like I named myself Xeno first, and then I added then it was Xeno Crosswell. So it was Xeno the alien, and then like Crosswell is like more of like the lion self, and like I'm like my human me. So there's just like three of me. So basically, it's like I'm all coming together all at one in like unification, and like I'm trying to like build and offer something that's different, and I want to have like a different viewpoint and like a different state of mind, and I want to share that with you guys and actually bring you along the journey of where I'm trying to go because like I see a lot of potential that I can give it just given the right opportunity. But I'm going to work for that regardless. Like I'm not going to back down from a challenge. Like I'm going to be hungry for that, and I'm always driven for success, and I want success in the near future, and if I want success I have to work for it. Um so with this day, it's next level energy. So basically I'm treating the mall as like my own personal runway to like practice my runway walk because like I'm serious about becoming a runway model, and with modeling in itself, like I do want editorial modeling gigs, and I want regular gigs to be able to model designer clothes regardless if it's local, if it's like something it's something to get my name out there. It's something that I can actually build my portfolio with. And that's why I'm very serious about this, and I'm not just walking around aimlessly because like I'm actually like running like as I mentioned before, because like I always hear this voice in the back of my head like I walk so you can run. So that's why I'm always treating my life right now as like when I call speed running is when I'm running because like I'm actually like hungry for it, and I can just feel like a new sense of like aura and energy in myself that I'm able to like kind of like do the things that I'm able to do, and that's why I want to take you on the journey with me of what I'm doing. So the music that I listen to, so when I say that I listen to the music in the mall, I'm treating the mall as my personal runway. So when I'm walking, especially when it's my break, when there's like a lot of people, I'm treating that as an opportunity to, just walk to point A to point B. Once I go to point B, turn my head, go to point C. Go after point C, go to point D. Like I'm not just walking around because before I was walking around like pretending like I was going to buy something in there, but I was actually trying to get people's attention. And I know that people are actually looking at me and they're being like very conscious of like what I have on because I even have the neck piece, I have my metal gear on, even like my hand. I'm not doing this for like the sake of it. Like I'm doing this like for my own benefit because like I want to offer something different. And like I'm going to keep saying that because like I want to be unique in that instance because like in order for you to be unique, you have to stand out and not stand out in like in a negative way. I want to stand out in a positive way that I am able to offer something in a way that most people aren't even comfortable or even thinking of doing in the first place because like having eyes on you all the time would feel uncomfortable, but like I'm actually preparing myself and actually giving myself like media training on like what I can do to actually prepare me for when it is time for me to even to be engaged in that activity in that instance. So the music that I'm listening to, so basically, I listen to my favorite type of music is EDM. So I listen to like dubstep. So it's like I'm not sure if you heard of Vastiv. So there's like a Vastiv Lost Nuns mix. It's like more of aggressive than like a serious type of energy. That's the song I'm listening to. And like when I'm walking in the mall with other people just walking around, like I don't want to be so I know that people in the mall are just like, just enjoying like their family time, friends, just sightseeing, seeing what they can purchase and everything like that. I don't care for that. Like all I care is that like I'm walking. So I'm tunnel vision. So basically if there's people walking in my way, I'm not in a disrespectful way just trying to just cut someone off. Like I'm literally just walking. Like I'm literally practicing my runway walk, practicing for the moment where I'm able to walk in front of people because in the fashion show, all eyes are on you. So is if you like slip up or trip, people are gonna like notice that and like your aura is gonna like literally dip on that. But it's like how are you gonna recover from that? And even when me saying that, like I'm actually practicing me walking up the stairs, walking down the stairs, because there's a way that models walk up the stairs and walk down the stairs. It's not like they're just walking down like this, or it's their eyes that they're looking at the steps, and it's how their foot placements are like actually like if they're going up the steps, it's how your foot is actually going up the steps. So you're not actually clipping like the edge of like the ledge of like the steps itself. I'm taking into consideration and how I'm walking in the first place. And with that music, it's serious. So basically it's aggressive. So like I'm walking, it may look like I'm walking fast, and if you do see me IRL, like I am walking like fast on purpose because like I literally have like 15 minutes or like 30 minutes. I have a 30-minute break for lunch, and then I have a 15-minute break just for just to just walk around, and I'm just treating that as like my runway. Um, so I'm doing that very intentionally, and I know that people are watching me. Like that's very like intentional of what I'm doing, despite me having like the two-tone hair. Like it's very intentional. Like I'm preparing myself for that in that sense. Um, so uh, so yeah, so like I'm also like developing patience, discipline, and like delayed gratification on the path to becoming a model, and that's why like I'm being serious in this video on that regard because like in my other content, like I'm doing like what I'm showing you is like more of my goofy side and the personality that I like. That's how I am. Like I'm not doing this for a performative like persona. Like I'm literally goofy. Like I'm literally like I'm like I'm very well aware and conscious of what I'm doing. It's just like if you see me IRL, like I'm actually like in my own dimension, envisioning myself on that runway for the moment where I actually get to walk for a designer. That's the moment that I am working my way up to. And I'm going to work every single day for that moment to actually happen and be an actual reality that I want to be a part of. But it's about the moment and actually the practice and actually the delayed gratification, actually being grateful for everything and actually working my way to get to that. Um, but uh, uh, But other than that, I mean, this is going to be like the end of this like weekly XWELL like podcast type of thing that I'm going to be doing, so I can focus on content. Like actually, that's going to be actually like getting me to the world of modeling and like entertainment industry in the first place because I'm also going to get into music as well. But this is all about growth. This is all about determination, pure drive, hunger. And I just want you guys to be invited into what I'm doing because like I'm not just doing things for like the sake of it, even though I may say things that are random and some things that are being like what are you talking about? There's a reason to what I'm doing. I mean, like my content and what I'm doing is not for everyone. I'm aware of that. I'm looking to find my target market. I'm looking to find my niche that actually understands me, that actually understands like the creative side of content creation in the first place because like I'm not sure if anyone is aware that content creation actually takes time. You're either a producer or a consumer, and I'm a producer, and I always want to produce content that actually is something that's unique in my case because like I don't want to be a consumer. I don't want to just sit back watching someone else's life. I don't want to watch a celebrity's life, gossip, rumors. I don't care for all that. I care for myself and what I want to achieve in life, and I want people to actually see that in myself of what I started from ground zero, level one, getting to level two, but how can I get to level three is how I'm trying to get to. And I'm hungry to get that. And I want you guys to be a part of the ride. So, with that being said, Line Boy out.